Our cruise at the Grand Egyptian Museum. The design of the museum was undertaken by the architects of international stature. It was an open invitation to architects and consultants from around the world to engage in a challenging act of creative design that stipulated a unique architecture for the long-anticipated Grand Egyptian Museum. And here to talk to us more about the architecture of the place is Dr. Wageh Hanna, the consulting engineer of the Grand Egyptian Museum and the head of the engineering committee. Hello, Doctor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Dr. Hanna. First of all, let's talk about the various steps that were taken to pave the ground for this mega project. Tell us about the competition and the idea. How did it spark? How did you prepare for that project?
Well, to start with, this project was the subject of an international competition which took place in 2002, in which participated something like 2,000 international officers. The selection went through the process of elimination until the final winning project was selected. The winners were a team of young architects, a Chinese and Irish couple, and they were really in their very young age, but they were most creative, and the selection was really a well-deserved compensation for a beautiful idea that they came up with. The concept of this project really has to do with the environment where the project is, facing the pyramids. They decided that the apex of each pyramid should represent the outline of the building, and they took an angle which led into infinity, which defined the two walls that govern the building, the outside of the building. More than that, there is a selectivity in how they displayed the artifacts, because there is something like 20 meters level differential between the entrance level and the plateau which overlooks the pyramids. So they displayed the artifacts on a grand staircase, which you can visit. As you visit the museum, you find the artifacts on the stair in front of you, until you go into the galleries to the left and the right, once you reach the plateau of the level of the pyramids. There's a panoramic view once you escalate to that upper level, where the pyramids, for the first time, 3 of them can be seen in the same view. So this is one of the unique aspects of this project, which made it the jury selection.
Well, Doctor, were any specific criteria that were taken into account during choosing a certain design for the Grand Egyptian Museum?
Well, the criteria really had to do with the amount of display, because it's a huge amount of display that goes into the project. And how to assign that to one building had to really be, both from the archaeological point of view and the architectural point of view, very carefully examined and planned. The concept that the archaeologists came up with is that you go up to the ancient Egypt and down to the more modern Egypt. In doing so, the ancient part of the exhibits correspond to the epoch of the pyramids, and as you go down, you reach the Greco-Roman. So the architect really was very concise in how he put his galleries and how he made it possible for the people to have the whole view, the whole panoptic view of all the areas, all the dynasties of Egypt in the display.
Right. Dr. Wageh, tell us about the points of strength. Tell us about the points of strength of the winning design.
I think I was trying to explain that to you during my display. It is a unique design, really.
Right.
There isn't 2 angles in the building that are the same, because it comes out as a triangle. So in that triangle, every wall, every floor tile is going to be different than the other. It's like almost something that you craft. You don't mass build. As such, it's going to be quite a unique building, really. And
right.
I think though it provides a lot of great difficulty in realizing, but at the end it will be worth it, really. One of the items, for example, that are quite unique to this building is a wall that stands outside the elevation of the building, which is called... This is a wall that is freestanding outside the museum, 10 meters away from the museum, and follows the line of the building and is supposed to display triangles of infinity, which when lit from the outside will give an absolutely unique facade to this building.
But Doctor, we know that the construction phases were divided into 3 phases. 2 of them have been finished already, and this behind us is the 3rd one. So what actually happened in the first 2 ones, and what is yet to be happening in the 3rd one?
The first 2 phases really were preparatory phases for the building of this museum. The first phase was leveling the site. The second phase was developing the conservation center, which will service the museum. And as you can see, there is a tunnel down there which connects the museum to the conservation center, through which all the artifacts shall be moved from the conservation center to the museum, underground, protected from protected and secured.
So the 3rd is actually the biggest phase, or the 3rd phase of constructing the Egyptian museum is actually the biggest phase, because it will be designing the whole shape of the museum itself.
The 3rd phase is the museum proper, which is a huge building. It's 120,000 square meters. Anything beyond that was a small building by size. But the aim of all of these things was to build this museum.
Yes.
So really, in the realization, this stage, we will be fulfilling the entire phases of the Grand Egyptian Museum and its annexes, the Conservation Center, and providing really a vista of incredible beauty to Cairo.
Right, Dr. Hanna, in February 2010, the Egyptian Ministry of Culture joined a contract with the Hill, and they have consulting engineering project company to provide contracting managers, right?
The project management and construction supervision.
Right.
Yes.
Tell us about the procedure of choosing that contractor.
Okay. You have to realize that this project is financed by JICA, which is Japanese International Cooperation Association, providing quite a big chunk of financing to this project. In the agreement with the Egyptian government, which was passed as a law, the regulation of JICA have to be applied in tendering, in selecting of consultants, in selecting of contractors, as an open and transparent tender to anybody who wants to participate. So for the selection of the project manager, which was one of the conditions of JICA's loan, we had to go out to tender among 3 or 4 project managers with the qualification to be able to provide services for a project like that. The tender finally whittled down to 2 companies, and the company that was selected was a joint venture between an American and an Egyptian firm, Hill International and AHAF. The selection was really followed a rigorous point value of appreciation and negotiations which followed financially, and then they were selected in, as you said, in February 2010.
Right.
So Doctor, there's a provisional date for the soft opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is set to be opened in August of 2015. Will you be able, as the engineering committee, to be finishing work in the construction site here before August of 2015? Okay. Will it take more time?
Let's define finishing construction and opening the museum, because they're 2 different things.
Yes.
Once you finish the building, you have to install the artifacts within the building, as well as the interior design and the finishes. So reconstruction is anticipated to finish in August 2015. This will be followed by 2 6-month periods of the first installation of the putting the galleries, furnishing the galleries and setting them up, and then installing the artifacts within the galleries, big, small, and medium.
Right. We can understand that you're still under construction, the project itself, the project. But do you have replicas inside the buildings? I mean, do you have replicas of the project?
Replicas?
Do you have replicas?
No, we won't
You
have any
don't?
replicas, no.
You do not have
No,
replicas?
no. It's
So,
all original exhibits.
No, I mean, do you have a model, miniature models? Or
Are you talking about study models?
Yes.
Yeah, there are several study models that have
Right.
been
But
made.
while you were working on those several replicas or miniatures of the buildings, did you have any role models of international museums from other expertise who suggested something from an architectural vision?
The architecture is unique to this building, so you can't really imitate anything else. And since the exhibits themselves are unique, I mean, you're not going to find in the world.
But there are international standards for museums. Are you setting ones on your own, or you are affected by those international standards and you're adding your own innovation?
Are you talking about the display of exhibits or the architecture of the building itself?
The architecture of the building.
No, the architecture of the building is unique. You can't compare it to anything else.
It's going to be a surprise to the people.
It's going to be a surprise to everybody because it has not been done before. It's a unique design. It's one of a kind.
We're very eager to see the design.
It's exciting because you're creating something that has not been there. Nothing like it happened.
So, Doctor, we've spoken about the contractor who is actually building or constructing the site here in the Grand Egyptian Museum. Are there any Egyptian national or international expertise that are being cooperating or being helping here in the construction site, giving experience maybe or construction themselves the Grand Egyptian Museum?
Okay. We are very proud here to say that there is a huge Egyptian contribution in all aspects of the project, in the design, in the project management, and in the construction. There is an amalgam of expat and Egyptians, the ratio of probably 1 to 6 or 7, Egyptians 6 and foreign 1, but the collaboration is very close and the roles are very well defined. The contractor himself is a joint venture between a Belgian company and an Egyptian company on a 50-50 basis. The Belgian company is called B6, the Egyptian company is called Orascom, and they created a joint venture to bid on this project. They were a successful bidder, and now they're building the project together. So it's really a very nice collaboration. We have different elements of engineers working in the project management committee. There are Greeks, there are English, there are Italians, there are Egyptians, and nationalities from all over the world. It's a very nice job to be involved in.
Dr. Wageh, Hanna, the consulting engineer of the Grand Egyptian Museum and the head of the engineering committee, thank you very much for being with us today on my cruise.
Thank you very much for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time to go out for a quick break, so stay tuned right after this short break.